Okay. Stop the car!
In Guatemala, a man on a motorcycle is trying to evade the law, but deep beneath the tar, this story is not just a chase, but an unexpected road trip. The motorcycle speeds away in a desperate attempt to evade the police. The narrow road becomes a man's decision to eliminate the trail and take another road. The police try desperately to stop the man. Decisive action is taken, the bike is kicked, and the man falls. But he doesn't give up. He gets back up and continues his escape. The chase continued. Moments later, the biker managed to escape from the police. He turned down a small road into a grassy field and hid behind a house to evade the police. On July 6th, at the Huber Heights Police Department in Ohio, a day that was supposed to be spent in Montgomery County Municipal Court turned into an unexpected moment of escape. The prisoner, known as Nisley, was being transferred with another prisoner. He saw an opportunity as the other prisoner was being brought in, and without hesitation, he walked to the side of the car without the officers noticing. The quiet and calm situation gave Nisley the space to carry out his plan. He quickly spotted the van with the keys still inside. Wordlessly, Nisley got into the van and decided to escape by breaking through the prison doors with the van. At that moment, the police were startled by a noise from outside and realized that Nisley had escaped. Wordlessly, they felt confusion and shock. The van was found minutes later, half a mile from the police station, and police arrested Nisley, who now faces additional charges. A man manages to escape the clutches of two female Montreal officers who tried to handcuff him on the side of the road. Two SPVM officers try their best to restrain the suspect. We can see the tension building as the officers attempt to handcuff the man. However, their efforts fail, and the man nimbly escapes the clutches of the law. The two female officers showed determination and resilience, but the story's highlight was failing to arrest the suspect.
Oh, Monsieur est gone! Oh, lui est mort! Monsieur est gone!
SPVM spokesperson Jean-Pierre Brabant shared that the man was already known to the police, and although he had not been caught, investigators were working hard to find him. In a dramatic incident in Iowa, a suspect becomes the architect of a wild ride that takes a police officer to an extraordinary situation. An Illinois man, Dennis James Guider Jr., was stopped on the street and apparently would not cooperate with the commands of a police officer who tried to stop him and climbed on the hood of his car.
Stop the car, man! Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car!
However, instead of stopping, Guider sped away from the police, with police on the hood of his car.
Jesus! Stop the car, man!
Guider ignored his actions despite endangering the officer. He continued to focus on fleeing at high speed, and moments later, the officer fell from the hood of his car. When he was arrested, Guider pleaded guilty to aggravated battery, and he faces 5 years in prison. An ambulance theft sets a dangerous chase on a tense night in Philadelphia. A fearless suspect drives the ambulance with action, triggering an incident that keeps our heart rate racing non-stop. Starting on Roosevelt Boulevard, the police were ready with an arrest strategy. Bravely, the suspect evaded several cops and crashed the ambulance he was driving, causing a near collision and damaging other vehicles. Second by second, we see the stolen ambulance become an object of chaos on the busy streets of Philadelphia. Several police cars attempt to pursue the suspect. The suspect passes a gas station, and police try to stop him. Despite police attempts to restrict his movements, the suspect maintains control, adding to the tension on each street he passes. An intense chase between a man and police officers in the UK brings us to a tense moment in this escape. The man in black continues to evade police pursuit, running across a section of the bridge leading to the water's edge. The police officers continue their pursuit.
Oh, he's on him, he's gone down a pier,
At the end of the bridge, the man suddenly stops and challenges the approaching officers. A fierce struggle is inevitable, creating tension that culminates when the man throws the officer into the water.
What's he playing at? Oh, he's chasing me in the water!
It didn't end there. The man manages to escape, leaving the officer soaking wet. However, the officer relentlessly rises from the water and continues the chase, creating a biting uncertainty for the viewers. At this moment, a police officer's persistent pursuit of a perpetrator who has no intention of surrendering creates a tense atmosphere on the street. A man tries to flee on foot, pursued by a police car that tries to stop him. However, the perpetrator's determination is unwavering, and he continues to run in search of his escape route. The escape continues as the perpetrator suddenly chooses another path to avoid pursuit. A pursuing police officer on foot quickly determines the direction of the escape. Meanwhile, the police car quickly pursues the new escape route. A suspect is involved in an unexpected incident involving a dramatic escape from a high altitude. The bold steps and risks taken make for an unforgettable story. A suspect, with his hands still cuffed, climbs out of a second-story window of an apartment and dramatically lands on the roof of a red car below. In alarming circumstances, one of the suspect's hands is still cuffed to the radiator, adding a layer of suspense to an already adrenaline-filled moment. With a boldness perhaps inspired by survival instincts, the suspect flees into the street from the officers who are still rooted to the second floor. A recently arrested criminal suddenly escapes the clutches of the law. This thrilling incident shows that danger lurks even after the offender is under police control. After being mobbed by the mob and arrested by the police, the criminal is led to the police car. However, when the police officer forgets to lock the car door, the perpetrator quickly seizes this opportunity. In a thrilling moment, the car door opens and the perpetrator escapes, leaving behind the shocked officer and helpless onlookers. Tension spread around the area as the crowd was stunned by the perpetrator's dramatic actions. Although the police immediately gave chase to recapture him, it was to no avail, and the perpetrator completely eluded the officers. On December 10th, 2 Kent County Sheriff's deputies approached a vehicle suspected of being the proceeds of a theft. Dashcam video shows the deputies attempting to confront the 2 offenders in the car, who aggressively refused the deputies' commands. Without hesitation, the driver of the car drove forward, rammed the police car, and backed up an embankment in an attempt to flee. Although officers attempted to retrieve the electroshock device, the speed of the escape made it challenging to continue the pursuit. The criminals, identified as Torna Parfait and Bradley Johnson, are still at large. They are accused of fraud at several Grand Rapids, Cedar Springs, Grandville, Caledonia, and Morley gas stations. The night witnesses an unusual chase as a man tries to escape the clutches of the police. As the chase begins, the police and the sedan engage in an exciting nighttime struggle. The 2 enter a small street with a dead end and a pedestrian staircase. However, the driver of the sedan decides to drive his car down the stairs. After successfully conquering the stairs, the driver of the black sedan immediately seizes the opportunity to flee to another street. The visible legacy of this audacity is the silent policeman who was forced to abandon the risk of pursuing the driver. This epic moment became a new chapter in the story of an unexpected chase. On a dramatic Thursday night, a white Kia was at the center of a tense chase. During the chase, the perpetrator recklessly fled the police and ran a red light. This heightens the tension and creates a tense scene. The officer who tried to stop the chase then ended the pursuit. Although the quest was officially over, the driver stopped at Ralph, creating a dramatic moment as he wanted to turn himself in, even though there were no police officers around. Up next is a crazy, heart-stopping police chase for the pursuing motorcyclists. A motorcyclist rides recklessly on the sidewalk, ignoring the road rules. Suddenly, a police car appears before him and tries to stop him. However, the motorcyclist has no intention of giving up and instead starts a chase. As the chase continues, the police car makes a valiant effort to catch up to the motorcyclist, but fails again as the motorcyclist skillfully escapes through a lane that is tricky for the police car to reach. This biker put on a show. Crossing a grassy field and sneaking onto another road, he managed to trick the police and continue his escape. A theft and robbery suspect manages to wreak havoc on city streets after an epic stunt against officers. In the middle of the street, an arrest turns into total mayhem. A white Mustang takes center stage as several police cars attempt to intercept it. Officers prepare to apprehend this dangerous suspect. However, However, the driver of the Mustang had no intention of giving up so easily. In an uncooperative act, he hit the gas and quickly fled the officers. That moment began an increasingly intense chase between the Mustang and the fleet of police officers trying to catch up with it. A thrilling chase through the city streets. A 70cc derby takes center stage as officers try to catch a reckless driver. In the middle of the street, a 70cc derby motorcycle is targeted by officers on patrol. When the motorcyclist crosses paths with a patrolman on a motorcycle, suspicion immediately sets off a high-speed chase. The driver, aware of the speed of his motorcycle, makes a quick decision. He turns onto a back road, using every small road available to avoid the officer's pursuit. The intense chase highlights the rider's agility at every turn in the road. As time passes, the biker continues to elude the police. To ensure his escape, he chooses another road that leads to a forest with lush trees. A tense moment unfolded on the overpass of Highway 62, where a theft incident escalated into a dramatic jump. As officers tried to stop a suspect vehicle, one of the suspects made the extreme decision to flee. Before sunset, the heat at the Egan Best Buy was on when officers stopped a suspect vehicle. A man got out and surrendered to the police officers about to arrest him. However, a passenger inside saw an opportunity to escape. He exited the car and ran away. The officer chased after the person, and then an unthinkable decision came from the person, making a dramatic jump, starting on the overpass of Highway 62 overpass that crosses I-35E. As his body dives towards the highway below, tension surges. Officers quickly responded, taking the suspect into custody moments after the daring leap. However, the dramatic action doesn't end there. As time passed, medics faced the difficult task of treating the suspect's broken leg from the extreme jump. On August 6, 2017, in Brooklyn, Ohio, the wheels of crime were set in motion. We witnessed the dramatic actions of a man who successfully escaped the clutches of the police. Traveling at 94 miles per hour, this chase, usually routine, unexpectedly turned into a dangerous adventure. A stolen minivan is at the center of this high-speed chase. The daring driver's dangerous maneuvers on the streets of Brooklyn endanger not only his life, but also those of other motorists. No matter how dangerous the situation, the driver of the stolen minivan remains focused on one goal: escaping the police. Collision after collision ensues, creating a tense and hair-raising spectacle on the streets of Brooklyn. When the stolen car suffers a catastrophic crash, the driver doesn't give up. Despite a flat tire and an unusable vehicle, he continues to flee with hasty steps. Leaving the car on the side of the road, the suspect managed to trick the security guards and evade the arresting officer. In a wild, high-speed chase on the Arkansas highway, a black car becomes the main culprit in the tense highway action. A black car leads the chase on the highway and creates a high-speed thrill ride, swerving down the road to the highway exit in this chase. The situation intensified when the police took decisive action to end the chase. By performing a pit maneuver, the police could stop the black car, creating a critical moment in this incident. However, the driver's determination to escape remained strong. The decision that further complicated the situation came when the driver got out of the car and decided to continue his escape on foot. This action adds a new level of suspense to the chase. In a tense moment, a man in a black hoodie makes a reckless decision that could land him in jail for his actions. As the man is in the middle of a police interrogation on the street, his reckless actions make the previously calm officer take him seriously. This surprise creates a dramatic moment where the man escapes by running away from the police. With no time to think, the police immediately respond with a chase. Several officers join the effort to catch the perpetrator, creating an increasingly tense chase through the streets. Although the chase begins, the ending of this story remains a mystery. Only the police officer and the perpetrator know the outcome of this reckless act. In an adrenaline-pumping scene, a Kawasaki H2 motorcyclist leads a state trooper on a high-speed chase down the highway. The motorcyclist is the target of a pursuit for exceeding the safe speed limit. The chase begins, and the state troopers respond quickly, creating a high-intensity scene on the road. With speeds reaching 100 miles per hour, the Kawasaki H2 motorcyclist displays incredible driving skills, swerving on the highway to evade pursuit. Danger and suspense mount with each daring move. Despite Despite the intense pursuit, the motorcyclist manages to take control of the situation. By taking an exit off the highway, he manages to evade capture by the police officers, ending this adrenaline-pumping chase. A police car with a siren breaks the silence, indicating that a suspect is trying to escape. Creating an atmosphere of tension, police officers quickly respond to the call to apprehend the fleeing suspect. The suspects are seen running swiftly, trying to avoid the clutches of the approaching law. However, amidst the chaos and speed of the chase, one of the suspects in the red shirt changed the direction of his flight. This decision went unnoticed by the pursuing officers, and the suspect continued to flee. The sound of sirens creates tension as officers attempt to pursue and apprehend those trying to escape, creating a compelling drama. A tense moment followed when 5 inmates escaped from the St. Francois County Jail in Farmington, Missouri. They used a water pipe to run and are now fugitives from justice. Surveillance video footage shows 2 inmates who have just escaped from the St. Francois County Jail running into a Centane Corporation parking lot. They are looking for something to help them escape. Moments later, as they make their way to the parking lot exit in the black sedan they stole, the exit door opens and 3 other inmates join the other 2 inmates in the stolen sedan. In a thrilling chase, a GMC SUV takes center stage on a busy road. At first, the hunt begins at high speed on the highway, providing an exciting spectacle. The sophistication of the escape is seen when the driver of the GMC SUV decides to exit the expressway, tricking the pursuing officers. However, this clever driver doesn't stop there. With a slick move, he decides to change the direction of his escape by making a U-turn and getting back on the freeway. The chase continued for hours, creating ever-increasing tension. Despite being confronted by the police, the GMC driver continued to evade, entering a car wash and skirting every attempt at police pursuit with ingenuity.
We're at Worsing. He's coming through his car wash. We're working.
In the end, the GMC SUV driver's escape attempt paid off. Cleverly tricking the officers, the driver managed to disappear, leaving the police empty-handed in their effort to arrest him. In an unusual incident, we witnessed a tense moment when a woman refused to be arrested by a police officer. This incident presents a unique and surprising story. A police officer has stopped a woman for breaking the law. However, what makes this incident unusual is the woman's refusal to submit to arrest. The officer, with discretion, did not use force to arrest her, creating an exciting scene. The police pursued her casually and without resistance. The woman held her sandals and chose to walk in the middle of the street. This action symbolizes a solid resistance to police arrest. The woman, with determination, made her way to the bushes across the street, creating a moment of confusion for the officers attempting to arrest her. This incident is a unique arrest and raises questions about the motivations and reasons behind the woman's resistance. One Thursday afternoon grew tense as a car chase unfolded, taking dramatic action from Bonner Springs to Overland Park. In the intense pursuit, a suspect made a dangerous pass, escalating the tension on the highway. The chase involves a stolen Toyota Venza, creating a dangerous moment on the road. The driver bravely swerves to avoid other vehicles, even dropping a woman on the side of the road as the car continues to flee. In Overland Park, when the driver stopped the stolen car and walked toward the parking lot, he tried to steal a parked blue vehicle. However, he failed in his attempt. Despite the failed theft attempt, the driver casually enters a store, leaving chaos in his wake. Although the stolen Toyota was eventually recovered, the man on the run eluded the law. An adrenaline-pumping incident unfolded in Los Angeles, where a Yamaha motorcyclist managed to evade a police chase, reaching speeds of up to 120 miles per hour. The chase began when the California Highway Patrol attempted to stop a Yamaha motorcyclist for speeding and a missing license plate. Undeterred, the suspect refused to give up, and an intense chase ensued. With a police helicopter monitoring his every move, the tension is palpable throughout the course.
The guy in a motorcycle described only as a Yamaha, that is one fast Yamaha. These things can reach record speeds. I'd ballpark this guy at times up to 120 miles per hour.
The motorcyclist flees under a bridge, the view from the helicopter momentarily cut off, creating uncertainty about his fate. However, with great skill, the motorcyclist reappears on the scene, evading the police.
Group here in the helicopter trying to get our eyes back on that motorcycle. Once he went under that overpass, it was kind of hard to see him, and I think we've got him once again, and there he is right there.
The chase continued into the dense urban area between tall buildings. Here, the police helicopter had difficulty tracking his movements, and eventually, the motorcyclist managed to escape the police pursuit. What was expected to be a routine arrest turned into a dramatic situation one night when a woman driver, declared drunk after a test, violently resisted arrest by police officers. After conducting a sobriety test, the police officer tried to arrest the woman. However, she vehemently refused, creating tension in the situation.
Listen to me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
As if that wasn't enough, the woman was requested to get something in her car, but instead, she took the opportunity to flee by starting her car.
Okay.
The chase began immediately, with the police officer getting into his car and trying to catch up with the woman. The high speed the woman was driving made it difficult to catch her. After a few moments of searching and chasing, the car driven by the woman was no longer found, and the police lost track of her. Today, we will witness an exciting moment as a man tries to escape from police officers after being involved in a crime. At this point, the police officer is trying to chase the young man, who is seen running slowly across the street. However, when he suddenly falls and is almost hit by a passing car, the situation becomes even more difficult for him. The policeman sees an opportunity to catch him, but the attempt is in vain as the young man quickly gets up and runs away. On the other hand, the police officers looked tired and disappointed from the grueling pursuit. Despite their best efforts, they were forced to let go of the man, who continued to flee. The sagging pants and the escape speed create an unforgettable comic moment in this chase story. An incredible chase in which more than 30 Malaysian Honda Civic police cars joined forces to chase a Perodua Beza sedan fleeing at high speed. Dramatic action unfolded as numerous Malaysian police cars chased a sedan traveling at high speed. The streets became chaotic, with sirens blaring and various police cars attempting to stop the speeding sedan. The footage also shows passers-by witnessing the chase. With more than 30 police cars involved, this chase was an extraordinary event on the streets of Malaysia. It shows the resilience of police officers in responding to emergencies. However, as with all chases, this moment of tension eventually reaches its climax. The chase ends after the sedan flees for 35 kilometers, and the police manage to surround the driver as he tries to escape. A quiet Sunday morning in Middletown turned into a dramatic scene when two fugitives escaped after crashing a stolen car into an apartment building. Lieutenant Brian Pacifico of the Franklin Police Department stated that a maroon Hyundai Elantra linked to a previous robbery caught officers' attention while traveling south on Riley Boulevard. Police attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver bravely accelerated onto State Route 73 West toward Middletown. The drama continued as the suspect vehicle attempted to turn, lost control, and crashed into an apartment building. Dashcam footage shows two teenage suspects exiting the apartment window and fleeing. The two fleeing teens have not been found. Franklin police said one of the suspects wore a white shirt and dark pants. The other was wearing a grey shirt and blue-grey jeans.